Hello guys. Welcome to Diablo the Primordial. This video is the continuation video after searching for Rimuru. So if you have not watched it, then please watch it. The link is in the description. So without any further delay, let's start. But before we start, please like, subscribe and press the bell icon so you don't miss the updates. The reason for this was simple: if they don't have the required talent, they simply can't follow the lectures. This is why I came up with the exchange student system. With this, you can experience each of the academies before deciding about your future. The other reason behind the exchange student system is to readmit the students who can't keep up with the lectures of Tempest or NNU back to Ingrassia Academy. It is all up to the students, whether they want to get better or stay down. If they work hard and actually do get better, they can get admitted to Tempest once again. But if they were to stay down, that is as far they go. There's the repeating a grade system in Ingrassia's academy, but only up to 2 times. It is because the country bears all the education cost. Students who don't have any will to study are expelled. Although there were no superiority between the academies once a student graduates, it is generally acknowledged that the Tempest graduates are well built in physique and the NNU were the brains. And based on that, it was generally accepted by the public that graduating from Ingrassia's academy was easier. And because of these reasons, the planes are used pretty much every month by students to move between Ingrassia and Tempest. Although the conductor thought I am one of those students, it is actually convenient for me that way for the time being. And so, I feigned ignorance and continued my observation. Like I said, why do I have to use the same seats as these poor people? You are absolutely correct, Julius-sama. However, it is decided by the academy, so please overlook it this time. I understand. But, still, couldn't the academy prepare a better ship than this? That's right, Julius-sama. This is also proof that the academy is taking us, the nobles, lightly. I must ask my father and restrain the academy. That's exactly right. At that time, please let me help as well. While I was gazing from the rear seat, a noisy bunch came in crowding into the general seat section. They were wearing classy clothes, so they probably came from Ingrassia's academy. Although the Ingrassia Kingdom changed its name to Ingrassia College Town, it seems like the previous nobles can't shake off their noble feeling. It is a problem seeing how there are people who still look down on Tempest as a city of demi-humans or monsters and scorn NNU, saying the Empire is uncivilized and whatnot. The tall, smug-looking guy seems to be called Julius. Judging from the fact that he is still a student, he has probably not inherited his family's leadership yet. And the person trying to butter up to him was a well-dressed guard knight. Although uncouth, he seemed like a sincere guy. The guard was probably the noble kid's aide who is now acting alongside him, as the noble kid is now a student. As he isn't carrying any weapons because it would stand out here, I am guessing he is a knight from his demeanor. There's a rule to keep all weapons of the customers in custody. Well, there are many loopholes, but I can't be bothered to think about it all. The conductor will handle things if something were to happen, but generally, one needs to take care of themselves, after all. If one doesn't bother other passengers, those things are overlooked to a certain extent. Other than the noble guy, there were 2 noble girls and a butler for each. The girls were wearing the girls' student uniform. However, the butlers were wearing custom-made to order battle uniforms. Although they looked like normal butler uniform, they were made from special fabric for fighting. Just like the conductors, they are probably ordered to protect their masters. The noble girls, they were more or less strong, about C+ in rank, I would say. These kids seem like quite the elite. But, what's with students having butlers? It feels a bit too overprotective considering that they set out to learn to be independent. Well, this world can be quite dangerous, so I guess the parents would be worried. There were mixed reviews about this, but the academy decided to tolerate it. Well, leaving that aside. These students, did they just say, couldn't prepare a better ship than this? And to also insult the academy, these kids are very cocky. That's not something you should be saying considering that Tempest is assisting the 3 academies from its taxes. I got a bit irritated and shifted my gaze towards them. As I did that, I noticed that the other students were also not taking it well. I mean, of course they would not. It's the worst pattern to be complaining even though you're studying for free. Even if these kids were nobles, inside the academy, there is an ironclad rule saying that they were all equal. Although we are tolerating them bringing along guards and butlers, we are definitely not going to allow partiality towards them. It looks like their sense of being the chosen people isn't fading. Oi, you guys, that's enough. Being poor or rich is completely dependent on the family and it does not affect the student's skill. That's the common ideal between all the academies, you know? A red-haired youngster couldn't tolerate it anymore and raised his voice. In response to that, the young man called Julius made a scorning expression and said over his shoulder, "Ha, to think the likes of you stinking beasts would come directly talking to me. What blasphemy. Oi?" Reacting to Julius, a few other students stood up. They seemed to be students of Tempest as they had prominent characteristics like monsters or demi-humans. It is only natural for them to be angry, but, what should I do? It's sad seeing people like these exist even 8 years after completing the academies. These things are not reported to me, but it seems like there's a need to conduct an internal audit. You guys, what are you doing? Just sit down already. Just when I started pondering on what to do about the situation, a bald man came in and shouted. He seems like one of the teachers and couldn't overlook this commotion. I thought the teacher at least wouldn't discriminate, but Julius-sama, I will punish these students, so please spare them. And also, I negotiated with the crew to move you to the high-class section as there's a space empty because someone cancelled. Please move there. And like that, he started being toady to Julius. And the moment that teacher came in, the Tempest students looked down as if they had given up. Seems like they gave up early, thinking that they can't win against a teacher. What is with that guy? I ended up muttering out. Oh ho, that's thoughtful of you. However, I can't really expect much if someone cancelled on it. That is true, but it will surely be better than here. Ha 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 ha. I guess I will have to show face if Mr. Julius says so much. Well then guys, let's go. Saying that, the Julius party left. That cancelled room is probably the one I was going to use. I guess they are treating it as cancelled since I didn't show up on time. At situations like these, it is completely the passenger's responsibility, and so they won't return my 10 gold coins. Should I go and drive them out? I even ended up thinking something like that. But, if I were to do that, things would get troublesome and there's a chance of my identity getting revealed, so I won't though. But, what did he call that guy again? Julius? That guy is getting fired. The management of the Ingrassia Synthesis Academy is not under my jurisdiction, but Tempest is supporting them with huge sums of money. With my authority, firing such a teacher will be a piece of cake. Is this seat empty? Someone came asking me, while I was enraged at that teacher. It is. Saying that, I shifted towards the side. And so he happily sat beside me. Hey there, you ended up having to see that, didn't you? I haven't seen you before, so you are entering the academy first time this year, right? The whole academy isn't like that, just that there's an old-fashioned fraction like that still remaining. We are also bothered by them. But, people like those are very few, so I am sure a lot of fun things are waiting for you. So I want you to not have a weird preconception about it. Just as he sat, he started talking to me. This guy is wearing an NNU uniform, so he's probably from a different academy than Julius before. But it seems like he knows him. He also probably heard me there, and this might be his way of following up. Is that so? Well, are you having fun? I thought about introducing myself, but giving my real name would be bad. So for now, I plan on leaving things as they are if he doesn't introduce himself. Thinking that, I asked the question. I wanted to know his true opinion for research, as it might be helpful later. After all, it would be easy to have him talk since we are both students. But it seems like he didn't expect such a question since he looked surprised. You're interesting. My name is Magnus. I might not look like it, but I am a 4th-year student of NNU Magic and Science Investigation Academy. I don't know what he found so interesting, but he burst out in laughter. Since he introduced himself, it would look weird if I did not. My name is Satoru. I am heading to Ingrassia to take care of something. Satoru-kun, eh? Or is it Satoru-chan? Well, I would prefer kun. Got it. So, you are also in the academy. The student who introduced himself as Magnus came talking to me over familiarly. He seems refreshing, but it is kinda concerning how overly friendly he is being. It is also a bit unpleasant how he casually comes invading my personal space. I don't need to worry about being directly touched as I have a multidimensional barrier up unconsciously, but how should I explain this? Like, he has this self-important attitude. He probably doesn't have experience of getting rejected as he's talented. Hey you're acting too friendly with Magnus-sama. I had been feeling it too, but it seems that is how it looked to others as well. But, it is upsetting how she says it, making it sound like I am the one being too friendly. Now, Rosari. This is Satoru-chan. He's a new student enrolling this year. I was just about to ask him where he plans to get into. Don't joke around with me, I told you to use kun, didn't I? Looks like he is quite the confident type who doesn't really listen to others. But this kid, despite being less than a student who hasn't even enrolled yet, isn't he being too cheeky to a senpai? The female student called Rosari came butting into our conversation, judging me as cheeky. Well, that's fine and all, but I don't see any reason for them to be so self-important by being senpai when I haven't even enrolled yet. Cheeky. Now listen here. The only people allowed to talk to me are fourth-year students, either that, or people who are within rank 100 based on results. I am not someone people like you can speak to. If you understand, then give up your seat already. Looks like she doesn't plan on listening to me at all and acted like she was driving out a dog. She probably wants the seat next to Magnus. She probably likes him or something and I am in the way. This is extremely bothersome. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys have not watched my other videos, then please watch them. The links are in the description. And don't forget to like, subscribe and press the bell icon so you don't miss the updates.